Welcome to the DYSON'S Effect.
A show about everyday situations, issues, and topics we talk about and give our opinions.
We may even listen to yours.
We are your hosts, Johnny
and Teresa,
also known as Mr. and Mrs. Dyson. This is Johnny, and this is an episode of the DYSON'S Effect. Just still love that intro. As y'all can see again, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to this, I am doing it solo again because my best friend, my wife, my everything right now is going through some challenges. She is going through some challenges right now that I kind of want to talk about, but not specifically her. But have you heard about her many instances that she's been in and out of the hospital? Many instances she has been going through many challenges. She is going through a trying time right now that is putting her through some different things right now, and it's challenging her. And it feels, not speaking for her, but it may feel like that she's carrying a lot of weight with this issue that she's dealing with her health issues, and she talked about her kidney disease from the previous conversation. So that's kind of what I want to talk about because not speaking too much for her, but I kind of see my wife as a Wonder Woman. I think she accomplished a lot of different things, and she has a lot of different things she can tap into to exemplify or use her greatness in some type of way to help her push her through when she's going through these challenges. One of the things that I'm, if you watching this on YouTube, I have on one of my favorite characters, X-Men. I did watch cartoons growing up, but we didn't catch the X-Men. The X-Men didn't last that long. It didn't have that many seasons, but kind of liked the X-Men cartoon, and I liked the X-Men. The one that I liked the most was Wolverine. I also liked Beast. I also liked a few other ones, but the reason why I always like these characters is because in a weird way, and I was telling my wife this before, is that for one, it creates the opportunity to dream big, to let your imagination run on different things, or the possibilities that you want or may not have, and for someone to come up with an idea for a cartoon, let alone to draw it, to give it a character, to give it a life. One of the things about Wolverine is he's been to the military, and he has a troubled past, and just to come up with that whole concept is something interesting. So if you could just think about that for a minute, all of the X-Men period has some interesting past and interesting characters, other family members. Some have been married, and some left. Some friends left them because they became a mutant, and so on and so forth. It's all that came from someone's imagination, and I'm I'm saying that to say that's how strong our minds is. Our mind can create different things and opportunities. It can create things that we have no idea what it can do. And I think when it comes to my wife, she has an opportunity to not carry this thing as weight. So the biggest thing is I want to talk about is losing weight. Yes. So this is like a big weight on my wife. Like this is like a weight that's carrying on her right now, and she may have to carry this for a while. But one of the things that one of my favorite sports, one of my favorite sports is boxing, as some of you may know. As I'm not sure, but I did when I was young. I would probably say I was 17, 18. I did meet Muhammad Ali. If anyone knows that he used to live in Barron County. Barron Springs. Barron Springs is in Barron County, and the county that we were living in. And as we stated before, the city that we're from is Benton Harbor, Michigan, is right next to it. And he came by, did many different things in the neighborhood. He met kids. He used to do magic tricks. And Muhammad Ali loved doing magic tricks. Some even said that he elevated at one time off the ground. Many different stories of him. Fell in love with him when I was a younger kid, and his everything that he's done. Right around, I'll say in the midst, right around the same time, I grew very fond of Malcolm X. But the thing about boxers is that boxers have to keep the weight that they have. So, for example, I gained a lot of weight at one point in time, not too long ago. I got up to maybe 240 pounds, maybe. And for my size, that's kind of big. I'm around 5'10", so 5'8", somewhere around 5'8", I don't know. So I gained a lot of weight at one time. That was a lot of weight for me to be carrying around. Now, over a course of time, you can tell the difference when you go to going up steps, when you go and have to exercise, when doing many different physical attributes in your life. It's hard to carry all that weight. It's so hard that it diminishes other things. So you can get injured, bones. You know, your body is only meant to carry so much weight, and if for one thing, then for another thing, it's only meant to do whatever it is can do. So years ago, my job at the time had a free evaluation that they were doing for us to get a discount on our health insurance. So what they did was you came in there and they weighed you. Then they took your blood. No, they didn't take your blood. I think they took our blood at the time. Tested our BMI. Did a lot of different things. So, long story short, I think I was around 250. I didn't even weigh myself. I didn't know. I didn't even weigh myself, but I thought I carried it around the same. So I didn't know, and I've used to be so active. I used to play basketball every day, literally every day. I used to play basketball with a lot of my friends. There was this park called Stern Bronson. It was Stern Bronson School, and there was a park there on the basketball court, and we used to literally play every day, all day, talk junk to each other, and play every day, all day. So I'm used to being very active, very active. But as time went on, I wasn't able to play basketball anymore, but I was still somewhat active. Then I had a job. Before the job that I had the health screening for, I used to deliver furniture. I was very active with that, strong, able to carry a lot of couches and washers and dryers by myself. I didn't think nothing of it. But I got the screening. I want to say it said I was around 240, 250-ish, somewhere around there. Now, to equate that to boxing, first of all, I was close to being a super heavyweight. Now, for people that don't know, a super heavyweight is real big. Now, it don't look that big, I guess, from modern day people, but in the ring is big. So, one of the super heavyweights, let me look him up real quick. His name was Butterbean. Butterbean was a super heavyweight, and he used to knock people out. Was really good. But he didn't look like your ideal boxer. At the time, I want to say he was around 350 pounds. I mean, they do have highlights of Butterbean knocking people out. They do have highlights of him like really doing his thing, but he has some muscles to him, but he's pretty big. So when I was around 240, 250, I think somewhere around there, and I was just like, that. Then they said I was at risk of having high blood pressure. I was at risk of having my BMI was high. A whole other issue. One of the things that they said, if you want to test your BMI, is you want to see if you can have your middle finger and your thumb go around your wrist and see if it touches. If it can't touch, that means your BMI is too high. That means basically your wrist is too big. So that means your arm is too big. It means you might have a lot of weight. Yada, yada, yada. So I did this on my break, right? So I took a break from work, did this test, got all these numbers back, and they was like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to lose weight. And I'm just like, what? I need to do what? And it bothered me for like a week. Like, I never thought I'd be 240, overweight, at risk. It bothered me for a long time. When I mean a long time, it bothered me for a while, that like daily. So after that, I went on a tirade. I worked out every chance I get. I worked out all the time. I worked out. I caught a discount this is around Groupon. Wasn't that new? It was new at the time. And I took a Groupon. I took some boxing classes. Loved the boxing class. First day boxing, we do like a 30, 40. Well, this guy named Shane. I dragged my foot so long on going to it because it was for 9 sessions, but he only did it for once a week. But I waited like a month or two late. But he said, no one's in here. You can come in here and I can train you. It's no problem, Johnny. No problem. And if you want to stay longer, I'll stay long. No problem. So I started going on Fridays. So the first day, I mean, we're talking about somebody out of shape. Oh my gosh. Before you even get in the ring to learn just the basics of boxing, you have to work out and stretch and like do all these things with your body, warm your body up. The warm up he had me doing was around like 30 to 45 minutes. It seems like an hour and a half I was there, but I think it was on like 15 to 30 minutes. But when you out of shape, it takes forever. So then when we get in the ring, regular combos, when I mean to tell you I'm so out of wind to throw punches, to learn the basic combos, your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, your 5, and your 6. It's only 6 punches. How you throw them is the key. With your twist, with your hips, with the flare, breathing, twisting, everything. It was ridiculous. ridiculous. I could not do it. Then, want to hit something more crazy. About 3 weeks in, one of Shane's friends that he'd been training with wanted to box with me. Now, the thing was, he only can hit from the shoulder to the waist, nothing in the head. So, me being out of shape, first I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. He's like, come on, we gonna mess around. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. He's like, I'll take it easy on you. All right, cause I want to see how I'm doing. I've been doing it for like a few weeks now. Like, I want to see how I'm doing. It's one thing to get punched once in your stomach. Average person could take one punch probably to the stomach, maybe 2, 3, 4. You could probably take a few punches if you've been active a little bit. You could probably take a few. But imagine taking, I don't know, let's say 100 punches to 100. One punch each round. Boom, boom. You can take it, boom, boom. And that's what I mean to go back to the Butterbean situation. Like, Butterbean didn't go a lot of rounds because he didn't have the wind to. Butterbean didn't have ripped abs and in shape, back and, obliques. He didn't have the wind to. Now, he probably could take some hits, but you have to be in shape, y'all. You got to be in shape to take those hits. You got to be in shape to take those hits. When I tell you, this dude was tearing me up, had my arm sore. I was sore for about a week off of him punching me so much. And he said I gave him a hard time because I switched my style up. Learned it from Chris Bird, the boxer. Anybody know Chris Bird? I learned it from Chris Bird, switched my style up, but I wasn't good enough, honestly, to switch my style up. But I wasn't good enough to confuse him on how he would throw a punch. So he really couldn't land as many in my stomach or my ribs because I'm switching my style up with my left hand. So I was having to adjust, the beatings I was taking. But it wasn't that bad, but to me it was bad because I wasn't in shape. He wasn't really like tearing me up, boom, 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 tearing me up. He was taking it easy on me. It's just that I'm out of shape. He wasn't really, he didn't go hard on me. I was just so out of shape. So out of shape. So I was close to being a super heavyweight. Now, under super heavyweight is heavyweight, of course, right? And then you go down the list. You have cruiserweight. Now, me personally, I thought that I wanted to be like right up under cruiserweight. Like cruiserweight, light heavyweight. Cruiserweight is anywhere from 205 to 225. Like I said, super heavyweight is 265 and up. Butterbean was over 350 pounds. So I wanted to be like anywhere between cruiserweight and light heavyweight. That means that with my body size, I could have enough to maneuver and do what I want to do, like play basketball, lift weights, and so on and so forth. That's what I thought I would be able to adjust. This was a change in my life. So I had lost a lot of the weight, got in shape, so on and so forth. I used to go to the gym all the time, but I wasn't quite where I wanted to be yet. Fast forward, we moved here in Georgia. Now, long story short, I gained the weight again, lose it, gain the weight again, lose it. So I gained the weight again when we moved here in Georgia. And I kind of got down to like a nice 210, 215. But I didn't like it. It wasn't a 210, 215 when I'm strong. So luckily, and I can say luckily because I ended up kind of losing my job, my previous job, and I figure out this. I was doing a lot of reading about eating, lifting weights, everything all in them. So I came up with a different way of how to eat, what to eat, and so on and so forth. Different things that I read, and so on and so forth. Read the intermittent fasting. And it's one. I think it's like 4 or 5 different types of intermittent fasting. I found the one that works best for me. In this process, I also wanted to incorporate a consistent scheduling of working out. So no matter what, every days on these days I need to work out. This is when me and my wife worked out together every day. Boom, 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 boom. We getting it in. And I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. We getting it in. Boom, boom, boom. Working out together. Hour here, hour there. Mixing it up. Doing jumping jacks, jumping rope. Doing weights, doing a lot of reps, doing light reps, so on and so forth. My wife dropped more than 50 pounds. She put the pictures up on all the social media. My wife is gorgeous. She was gorgeous before, amazingly beautiful afterwards. She lost a lot of weight. Came up with different ways how we need to eat, what we need to eat. We was already vegan, so it's a little bit of a cheat code because it's a little bit more easier. But lost a lot of the weight. Me, on the other hand, my weight was dropping fast, and I think that triggered her to like, okay, now I need to start working out too. So I started working out. Boom, boom, boom. My weight was falling off. Now I'm down to 175, and I can't get down to 165. My goal is to, 175 to 185 is middleweight. 170 to 175 is super welterweight. I would like to get to welterweight, which is like 165. It's hard for me to get this 10 pounds. But if I could stay here and be tight, because one of the things is, like in boxing, is you want to dominate a weight class, but sometimes you want to stay at the weight class you're at because that's where you're strongest. So I don't want to lose this weight, and also with me, not that I'm boxing, but I also want to lose the weight, but I want to be at my strongest as well too, so I don't be too light. So I'm able to adjust to my workouts, to my calisthenics, to my weights, to running, to everything. I want everything to be roughly the same. It's only 10 pounds. The closest I got, I think I got to 169, and now I'm back up to like 173. And my eating habits is the same. I'm not eating too much. And keeping a calorie count, even though I dropped my calorie count a little bit more, and it still goes up a little bit, but it's a tuning of me eating the right things and exercising, and it's at the right times of the day when I'm burning the right amount of calories. So I'm saying all that about the losing weight is because this is one of the reasons why I became a life and fitness coach. Now, one of the reasons why I became a life and fitness coach because many people don't know or may not have the idea of why they gain the weight. A lot of times people gain the weight because of different things that they are going through in their life. So of course nutrition is the most important thing. But many of our life issues are depicted based on our health and our weight, or in reverse. Many of our weight issues, if we are overweight or if we are not in shape, is based on the things that we are doing in our lives, one way, shape, form, or fashion. So one of the things that I came up with the concept is of why I became a life and fitness coach is because how I mesh the two together on why they mean so much right now to you. Why you are over X amount of pounds and you continue to eat the same thing, or you love to eat these things because it reminds you of your childhood. Or when we was young, we used to have penny candy. So if one of my friends, he's candy like a little kid, but he's in massive shape. He's a basketball coach and everything. He's still in shape. But when we was young, we had penny candy. When we was young, we had candy that actually cost a penny, and we used to buy it and so on and so forth. So imagine the weight that the average person that is not as active as my close friend, not as active as he is, not as active to burn those calories off. Now, to bring it full circle, we go through many different things in many different stages of our lives. Just because you go through one challenge and you made it through doesn't mean that you're not going to go through another challenge. Sometimes, and to bring this up first, mentally we have to feed ourselves certain things, right? Mentally we have to lose the weight. We have to start losing the things that we've been carrying on for so many years. I once heard the analogy of sometimes it's like when you're going up in success, it's like you carrying up a bucket, or you carrying up a wagon. And along that wagon, certain issues come up and you put it in the wagon and you carrying it up. Or you have friends, family members, significant others, they are finding stuff to put in your wagon and you're carrying it up. So mentally, you're trying to get up this hill, but it's getting harder and harder, and these people is putting stuff in your wagon. Now, mentally, what you can do is you can take it out of the wagon. You don't have to carry it. A lot of the things mentally we carrying on, whether it's what your children say about you, you wasn't a good parent. I once heard this too, from a successful parent, a musical artist. She said that nothing hurts you more than your child having some type of gripe when they have a good upbringing. But you don't know that every child gonna have some type of gripe and upset. So there is no magic road to being a perfect parent. It's always gonna be something that you could have done better as a parent. And from her, they got all those beautiful kids that she has. She said it. And what the position that your kids are trying to inflict on you and say this about you is just another cross that they're gonna have to bear, because they still have to take accountability for their stuff. That's one. Your significant other, the things that they're trying to put in your wagon, and you carry it up that hill, right? The things that your childhood, I know plenty of my clients, friends, family members, a lot of people are battling many issues, whether it's been no father in the household. That's a lot of men is not going to really realize that. That's one thing I battled in the past, molestation, because the thought of certain people, the relationship you have with your mother, it's a lot of mental capacity things that's you carrying up the wagon. And now, it's one thing for you to go through whatever you was going through in your 20s, because you're carrying up that wagon. I would like to say out of sight, out of mind. You may not know, but you're carrying up this wagon. Life is going on. You're carrying up this wagon. You're carrying up this wagon. It's in there, but you don't see it. When you get in your 30s, it's other stuff that's attached to this issue. For example, if you have a issue that you've been molested when you were young, right? Other things that may be attached to it that comes from that's in that wagon is your relationship. Now this relationship is in the wagon. It's holding on by a string because the sexual capacity is different. How you view sex is different. Right, wrong, and different. And you have that right if you've been molested, is that you don't know it stems from you being molested and how you're dealing with it. And if you haven't closed that chapter or keep it open. So many different things are challenging us to how light, to the point of how light or how heavy we want our wagon to be, right? If you're trying to get up to that hill, you're trying to get up to that hill. The hill is steep, right? The hill is steep. You're carrying the wagon. It's only so much stuff that can fit in there. To eventually, you're gonna have to reach in there and deal with it and keep it, up to you, or deal with it and get rid of it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Some situation you may need to keep it. Some situation that happened to you that you may need to keep those things, but it's like my grandmother say, you ain't, sometimes certain things or certain people is just like dead weight. You can't do nothing with no dead weight. Or what's the other metaphor people use? Steady bringing it up. It's like beating a dead horse. What's the purpose in it, right? So it's like dead weight. It's like beating a dead horse. You carrying that weight. You carrying that weight. You carrying that weight. You carrying it. You carrying it. You steady trying to get up the hill, but the issues are still the same. So those are the things that mentally we got to figure out. Like, man, why am I letting these issues worry me? Why am I letting these issues, pull me through these situations and I can't deal with them? Like, why? And another important piece, whether people want to believe it or not, is whether you believe in God or not, is a spiritual component. Now, I like to attach the spiritualness to the law of attractions. Sometimes we attract certain things, and sometimes things are attracted to us, whether we attract it or not, but it's meant to attract to us for us to push us through our next stage in life, whatever that stage is. Now, that may make it seem like, oh, it's easy. Yeah, you need to go through this so you can get through it. Not necessarily. Technically, yes, but not to make light of a person's situation, because what are they going through? The thing that spiritually you're going through is, how have you expanded your mind spiritually? Do you pray the same way you prayed when you was a kid to now you're an adult, to when you're in your 20s, right? Are you praying the same way? Do you view God the same way now in your 30s? Do you have some type of other processes that you use? What things have you done to elevate your understanding of your Creator, of your God? If you don't believe in God, totally fine. What are the things have you done to expand your mind outside of yourself and where you could be? I know that may be hard to understand. You're like, what do you mean? Well, if you don't believe in God, you have to believe in how can you have a different trajectory on where you're going if you have a bird's eye view of your current life right now, right? Like, how do you cultivate that and make that happen? How do you figure it out, right? Spiritually, how do you figure it out, right? So, in many cases, the mental is very important. The mental is very important of the stuff that is happening to us right now, of the weight that we're carrying. When you lose the weight of the mental capacities that are holding you back, you will look back at it like, wow, I can't believe I was going through that. I can't believe that happened to me. Like, wow. Spiritually, what else have you done? Who else have you learned from? What books have you read? When I was living in Columbus, Ohio, there was a point in time, I think his name was Pastor Vernon. Then I used to listen to another pastor. Then I used to listen to, because one person wasn't feeding me. I had to get to another stage. Like, they couldn't, like, after a while, I needed something else. That may sound bad, but my mind has expanded to this level. Like, it's like being in school, right? If I've soaked up as much knowledge as I can and I'm not getting anything from it, all right, I need to go to the second grade now, right? If I'm, if I'm not getting anything from it, and plus I'm doing my own homework, I'm doing my own research and understanding, I'm gaining my own wisdom and knowledge, all right, I need to get something from someone else. All right, then I need to get something from someone else. This person ain't doing it for me, no. good person. Doesn't do anything bad. Just out of elevated. I have evolution in my thought of God. I have evolution of my spiritualness. I have evolution in this process. And as it equates to the weight on your body, is that when things happen to us, how do our bodies deal with it? Some of my clients are not overweight at all, and they have issues of high blood pressure. And some people may be looking like, huh? Because it's all in the mental. It's the stress that they're putting on their bodies. It's the stress that they're going through. So many people right now have anxiety, and they don't have, believe it or not, some people don't have trauma. Some people have a lot of trauma. Some people are going through many different situations. So all of those things that you're going through is weight on you, right? But just like a boxer, right? Just like a boxer got to go to the gym, has to eat right, exercise right, you have to do the same thing with your spirit. You got to feed the right things to your spirit, baby. You got to put the right things in your spirit for it to get in shape and exercise. Your mental process, you got to feed the right things in your mental process and exercise it for it to get stronger. Challenge it. What are the things you believe before? Is it right? Is it wrong? What is your circle of this? Right? So the things that we're going through right now, the things that it's our battle, that's our war. We got to lose that weight, no matter how we got to go through it. And it could just only be, metaphorically, 5 pounds. Could only be 2 pounds. But that 2 pounds could be like a ton, right? Because we haven't went through the things we need to went through. We haven't went through the things we need to go through to challenge it, to see if it even belongs there, to see if it even is worthy of us carrying it. Allow us to expand our minds on our weight process. You know, my wife has the ability to do anything she can in this world. The most amazing, beautiful, courageous woman I know. One of the most amazing person I know. And she has an opportunity now to be Wonder Woman, but see herself as Wonder Woman. See herself as losing the weight of the things that is trying to take her down. And the same thing for me. I have to do what I have to do, no excuses, and lose the weight on the things that I'm up against. I have to expand my mind, use different things, grow, evolve. What am I reading? Right? And I probably said this before on here, but I heard someone say that they don't watch certain things on TV because they only have so much space in their head. And anything that they watch on TV, they don't want it to take space in their head. I want you to think about that. What are the things are you feeding your mental process? What are the things you feed in your spirituality? What are the things you feeding you physically? What is it doing for you? What is it? I mean, what is it? Only you know the answer. And the hardest thing we can do is take accountability. Can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. What are the things you're trying to do to get out of this situation and grow and evolve? Goes for me, go for children, friends, family, loved ones, significant others. It's all the same process. So I just want y'all to take that one on, chew on that for a while. I know that's a little bit deep right now, but you know that's what I do, shawty. I dig deep in there. Get all up in that form. We gotta grow from our circumstances if it's not doing anything for us. If our circumstance is not feeding us, we need to grow from it. Now, even if it is feeding us, is it elevating us? Right? Is it elevating us? If it's only feeding you at a certain level, are you elevated? Right? Are you getting to that next level? Are you really? Are you getting to the next level in life to see new different things? I talked about it before. The people that's from the city where we're from, they never left the city. Like, they never left the state. And then they only been so far in life. And right, wrong, and different. But if that's an issue, sometimes your mind can't see different things and other possibilities in life. Sometimes your mind don't know that certain things are here and certain things aren't there, meeting different people, different cultures, so on and so forth. So challenge yourself and quit carrying all that weight. Challenge yourself and lose the weight that you need to lose so you can get in shape to take the hits that you need to take. Get in shape, take those hits that you need to take, like a boxer, like a fighter, like the great Muhammad Ali, the great Roy Jones, so on and so forth. Just get in shape. So, I'm going to leave on that note. I want everybody that's been listening to this, just keep us in your prayer, but more importantly, keep my wife in your prayers. Watch over her. She's got a battle that she's going through, but that's my Wonder Woman. That's my what's the one from He-Man? She-Ra. That's my She-Ra. She can do it. She just gotta, stay strong and go for the battle. So, subscribe on YouTube if y'all like this. Subscribe on it. I got some ideas I'm trying to do with this page. I'm trying to cultivate something new. Subscribe, share, like. Let us know what you think. Comment. And as always, this is your one and only Johnny, going solo by myself, doing the damn thing. And this is another episode of the DYSON'S Effect. Peace, love,